British then pursued the Americans across New Jersey. In mid-December, Washington led his army south across the Delaware River. They camped on the Pennsylvania side, short of food, ammunition, and supplies. Washington's men and cannons crossed the icy river in boats and began the 19-mile march towards Trenton in the freezing storm. In the end, neither Cadwallader or Ewing were able to carry out their parts of the plan. The Hessian forces at Trenton numbered 1,400 under the leadership of Colonel Raw. Although Raw had received warnings of the Continental movement, his men were exhausted and unprepared for Washington's attack. Though rumors that they were drunk from Christmas celebrating are unfounded. As he approached the town, Washington divided his men, sending flanking columns under General Nathanael Greene and General John Sullivan. Meanwhile, Colonel Henry Knox's cannons fired on the garrison. Raw attempted to rally his troops but was never able to establish a defense perimeter and was shot from his horse and fatally wounded. The Hessians quickly surrendered. All totaled, 22 were killed, 92 wounded, 918 captured, and 400 escaped in the Battle of Trenton. The Americans suffered 2 frozen deaths and 5 wounded. Realizing his men could not hold Trenton against British reinforcements, Washington withdrew across the Delaware. However, on December 30th, he crossed back into New Jersey with an army of 2,000. Informed that 8,000 British troops under General Cornwallis and James Grant were marching south from Princeton, Washington worked quickly to supplement his numbers, urging militiamen whose terms had expired to stay for 6 weeks. On New Year's Day, Washington's force of 5,000 poorly trained men joined in Trenton. The next day, Cornwallis arrived with his army of 5,500. After skirmishes at the American lines and 3 attempts to cross the bridge at Assunpink Creek, Cornwallis relented for the day, assuming he had Washington trapped. That night, Washington deployed 500 men to keep the campfires going, while the rest of his troops made a nighttime march north towards Princeton. To keep their movement secret, torches were extinguished and wagon wheels muffled in heavy cloth. Dawn on January 3rd, 1777, Cornwallis woke to find that his opponent had disappeared, while Washington's men were near the end of their 12-mile march up to Princeton. Washington set a small force under General Mercer to destroy a bridge. Mercer's men encountered Redcoat under Lieutenant Colonel Malhood, and Mercer was killed in the fight. Arriving militia under Colonel Cadwallader had little effect. Then Washington arrived, riding between the fighting lines until his terrified horse refused to go on. The Americans rallied and broke through Mercer's line. As at Trenton, the Americans took prisoners, arms, and supplies but quickly withdrew after winning the Battle of Princeton. Washington had wanted to advance to New Brunswick, but was fortunately overruled by his officers. At the time, Cornwallis's men were en route to New Brunswick. Washington's men marched to Morristown in northern New Jersey, where they established winter quarters safe from British insurgents. The Continental Army basked in achievements at Princeton. They had defeated a regular British army in the field. Moreover, Washington had shown that he could unite soldiers from all the colonies into an effective national force.